You can start off by telling me how you think that the oil and gas industry can adopt additive manufacturing.
To adopt additive manufacturing in the oil and gas industry, I think there's a great potential there, both in the product design aspect of it, so new products being designed with additive manufacturing in mind, which will allow them to reduce some costs, reduce the supply chain, increase, allow the lead time to be improved, etc. And on the other end of the product life is when it's an aftermarket scenario where they can actually take old equipment, reverse engineer it, and then manufacture replacement parts there. So in the oil and gas industry, they've got the advantage of being able to use it at both ends of the life cycle, new and old, which can only bring benefits.
You obviously touched on a few things there, but what do you see as the key benefits of adopting this technology in this industry?
The key benefits of the oil and gas industry in adopting this technology, I would honestly think it would be just the ability to manufacture complex components, which typically the oil and gas face, and manufacture them more effectively and efficiently. So really, a lot of things that probably could have been designed previously or thought about couldn't be manufactured. Today, they can be manufactured. So it's probably the biggest benefit is that we can do things that we normally can't do in traditional manufacturing.
And what impact does this have on the quality and the speed, the ability to produce these high quality parts, or what potential is there for the oil and gas industry?
Yeah, so the oil and gas industry have got obviously concerns with the quality, okay? But the quality will be driven by the industry engaging with it. They've got control over the quality requirements. That's not any different than what the aerospace and the medical industry have done. You're not going to manufacture a high risk component with additive manufacturing on day one. It's all about growing confidence, using the technology on lower risk and building it up. When you understand the technology, understand the quality that comes out of it, the controls in place, etc. That's not any different than any other technology that's come in to the business. But again, it's the more that you put in, the more you'll get out of it.
And so you mentioned there, do you think it will significantly reduce costs, or could it?
Yeah, it will reduce costs. Now, not necessarily they call it in manufacturing a unit cost, that each part will be cheaper, but the whole life cycle or the supply chain period will be less, meaning that instead of having to stock 10 parts, you don't stock anything. So you've reduced your inventory, so that cash that you usually have tied up is now being used more effectively inside the business. So the unit price could possibly be more expensive. However, the whole supply chain is cheaper, which is what people sometimes forget about. It's the whole supply chain, not just the individual part.
And what do you predict for the future of 3D printing? Do you think it will continue to enter into new markets as well as the oil and gas industry? Will there be a lot more oil and gas companies using it in the future?
Yes, simply yes. There's definitely signs that the oil and gas industry is changing, or has changed. We all know that it's changed, but it's definitely changing. There's definitely pockets of companies within the industry saying, we need to understand this better, we need to try that technology. And they're doing that, okay? So it's not all negative. There is a lot of good positive work going on. A lot of that's coming from looking at other industries, so they're tapping in what have other industries done, why can we not do the same? As 3D or additive manufacturing as an industry, yeah, that's got a lot of development to do. We talk about CNC, it's probably got to its maximum life. Additive manufacturing has really just started, so the opportunities there, the opportunities still to come is more than what we've already achieved so far with the technology. Yeah.
And what challenges do you see for the oil and gas industry when it comes to adopting this technology?
It definitely is going to be the regulations, being able to approve the technology, the materials, etc. That's always going to be the biggest constraint and challenge at the moment. But like any other challenge, is that it'll be overcome. The industry, as in the the additive manufacturing industry will take that challenge on and start breaking down the barriers. So the more oil and gas companies engage, the quicker the barriers will come down.
And then finally, what advice would you give to oil and gas companies that would like to use additive manufacturing but are perhaps wary at the moment?
Dip your toe in. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, is it? Don't put a high risk component in at the present moment, because nobody wants to do that. Start with something small, try the technology, see what you like or dislike. It doesn't tick all the boxes all the time, you know. Also, probably the biggest thing is engage with people like the Oil and Gas Technology Centre. Explain what they're actually looking for out of the technology, get involved in that aspect, and they will then run with it and speak to the right people and champion it through for the industry with the people that are driving that technology, the machine manufacturers, etc., so that the right materials, right qualifications and everything are put in place so that we're using it as a common thing in the oil and gas industry in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.